What up, guys? Aperture Sound here, aka Justin Hamilton, which is my real name. But yeah, today I'm gonna be teaching you how I go about editing my photos on my Instagram. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm gonna do both a portrait and then a landscape. I'm gonna use this photo, or actually, yeah, we'll go with this photo. I'll do maybe a couple landscape photos, and then I'll go do my portraits. So I definitely do have different editing styles for both portrait and landscape. My landscapes are more moody and dark, but then like as my portraits like this, it's more or less kind of vintage looking, and I have that on my page. But I definitely make them cohesive as well, because you don't want to make your channel look not cohesive and kind of have the tones all mixed up and just doesn't look well. So I kind of really have to think about that as well, making both my portraits and my landscapes look cohesive. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with the exposure a little bit. I sometimes don't do that, but definitely in this photo I did overexpose, so I'm going to definitely make that lower. My highlights, I sometimes like to drown out my highlights. In this case, I'm going to do that because it was a brighter day. It wasn't really sunset. It kind of was, but it wasn't at the same exact time. So I can definitely boost the highlights. What I like to do is if I get the blue up here, I just drag a gradient filter, put that to 0, and then boost that up, make it look cloudy and foggy. And I kind of go right, put this line right on the tip of like the tallest building. This gives it that kind of foggy look and makes it hazy looking as well. Makes it look like a cloudy day. Okay, now with my blacks, I'm going to crush them a little bit. So the shadows, just to give that moody look. Contrast maybe up, depends on the picture. For this, I'm going to go with maybe a little less, actually. Not that much. Now, a lot of people say don't overdo this, but for me, this picture was a little overexposed, so I kind of had to overdo it. But I feel like overdoing this, you can get a lot of mood out of it. Sometimes I don't have to do it, sometimes I do. It depends on the picture. Clarity, I sometimes go with landscapes, like +10. Sometimes I go -10, depending on the image. This, I kind of don't really like it. I might just keep it at 0. So it makes it too contrasty, I guess, and too sharp and kind of fake looking. So vibrance, I definitely bumped that down a little bit, but not yet. So I'm going to mess with the tones. I bring the vibrance up completely. Then I go into here, and I boost, and I actually desaturate everything except for the blues, the yellows, the oranges, the reds. I kind of bring down the blues. I don't want them to be like a huge thing in my image, but I definitely want them to be a little bit higher than the other ones. I might boost these depending on which one stands out the most in the image. Orange and yellow seems like that, but I actually for this image I want to desaturate the yellows because I don't like the yellow on this building. It looks a little too pukish yellow. Maybe desaturate those a little too. Okay, so I kind of mess with this as well. Maybe I can make that more or less pukish yellow, make it just more like an orangish yellow, which I like. That's good. Oranges, I can definitely make just a tad more red. Get that more urban red. That's a thing. The reds, yeah, I like that. Makes it more urban red, as I said before. Luminance, I don't really mess with. Sometimes I do. It just makes buildings look a little brighter. I'm actually going to bring that up just a tad. Give those buildings in the back a little more pop. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to make this level. I usually just go by eye because usually the auto thing doesn't work. Or when you try to do it with this, it just doesn't work. So I just kind of like to do it by eye, and I just screwed it up. Why did I do that? I think that's better than it was. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of weird tilt for both of them. The one's going this way and the other one's going that way, but that's not a big deal. At least I just wanted it to look like I shot it level. Okay, back to where we were. Yeah. I'm going to bump that up a little bit. I want to bump this up too. I'm actually going to bump all of them up. It looks nice. Then for this, I don't know actually. Bump it up as well, I guess. I don't know. Not much. I don't like to overdo this because if you do overdo it, it just looks weird. Okay. I don't do the split toning yet. Actually do this first. So do the 3 points. And then, yeah, you do the 3 points, one top, one in the middle, and then one, like, quarter the way. I boost this up a little bit. I sometimes overdo it. I need to stop. And then I don't touch that one yet. I bumped this one up to about, like, 8.2 is my 7.8, 8.2. I used to go, like, 12, and it looked okay, but it didn't look great. Then I mess with this, and you can get the tones and how you want them. I kind of like that where it was just right there, maybe a little lower. That looks nice. Now I'm going to bring it up a little bit more. And then I kind of drag this down. I don't go overboard. And then I kind of don't like this up here. That's really distracting. I just realized that. So I just go to my, not that one. No, wait, I was right. Okay. And just drag a little line there. It should work. Why didn't that work? Sometimes this doesn't. There we go. Okay, that's erased. That sometimes sucks terribly. But yeah, so there's nothing distracting the background. We got the tones right for the tone curve. Last thing is split toning. I sometimes don't use this, but I sometimes do. I bump it up and then find out which color I like for that image. I'm going to go with like a yellowish tone. And I can only go to 8, not much. Boost this one. I usually go blue in this tone. Like that kind of blue, like a teal blue. Sometimes yellow. I sometimes switch it depending on exposure or how the image is. I can maybe try that actually. I usually don't do this because then it looks vintage. If I make a lot of more like the reds and the blues, yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to go with the yellow. Very little yellow. And then make this more bluish like that. Okay, I kind of want this to be a little darker. Actually, you know what, now that I did that, I'm going to bring in a gradient. I forgot to do this actually. I make that basic, and it's, I don't know why this works, but make just a small gradient that goes like to a darker shade. It just makes it a lot more moody. It goes like bright to darkness. I don't know why, but it works. Definitely not. Make that a little lower. I guess you would. Yeah, that looks good. Then actually, I'm gonna bring the contrast up, and then I went a little overboard. Yeah. See, sometimes going overboard is not good. You just adjust these. You sometimes do come back like once you're done editing. It's like, oh, maybe I want to change this. So yeah, see how it's a lot closer in the middle. I'm not editing as much. Highlights, yes, I like to boost them up, and maybe sometimes the whites, just to make that overexposed, look of the sky. And then I think that's pretty much good. You can do the profile correction, and then add a little bit of vignette, like a 20, and then I get a feather just completely, and then darken that midpoint, not that much. And it just gives it that cool look a little bit better. If you do it too much, it'll just look kind of cheap, fake, and overboard. Grain, I don't really think it's good. You can try a little bit of dehazing, give it more of that contrast, but I don't think we're needing that in this picture. I sometimes work with camera calibrations in my photos, but barely. Maybe if I'm just wanting to experiment, so I like to do that a lot. And then with this, I sometimes change it afterwards, see if I can get any cool tones. Actually, that's pretty dope. Ooh, yeah. Okay, see? Go back and just change that little thing. Will make it look really cool. And, yeah, I think that's a pretty good photo. Oh, we forgot to... Yeah, see, we're getting that really desaturated look now. I forgot to pull that down, but it worked. It worked. Maybe if I edit this out, I can get more color back in. I'm surprised I edited that much. It was because of down here, but it definitely did work how I wanted it to. Alright, that's how you get that moody shot. You can go back into it and like take this out and actually make it opposite, and you can also get like a cool look that way, getting like a storm cloud. That's not really my thing though. What did I just do? Okay, I don't know what I just did there, but it like reset it. Okay, and yeah, pretty much that's good. Let's go to a portrait now. I'm gonna go the one I didn't edit yet because I pretty much edited all these. Let's go with, let's see here. I might redo an edit. So, as you see in this image, yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, as you see in this image, it's very vintage looking. I really like that. I do have a preset for that. If you go here, I made a preset that just I can click on it, works. I had to edit it a little bit, but I'm not gonna use any presets for this. I will try to release all these presets eventually. I'm going to try to make a whole pack of these. I call them Andrew T. Kearns because they're kind of inspired by them. They're not his, though. Excuse me. Okay, let's get started. I honestly don't have to work with the exposure that much. Yeah, I'm going to keep that like that. I'm going to boost the highlights, the drowning out on the back there. Let me actually do that with a gradient on top. Zero it out. Bump the exposure. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Shadows. I'm gonna darken the shadow. I'm actually gonna keep them how they are. And then I'm gonna the whites. I like to boost up just a tad, and then bring the blacks down a little bit. Okay, and then for these, I'm actually gonna make it negative, around -7. So I actually like to bring it down. It makes it like a softer look, more or less, more of like a that kind of look. I like to make it softer for portraits because I don't want a ton of detail in the background, and it just kind of drowns that out. Vibrance. Let me boost that up a little bit for this. Yeah, I kind of like a lot of color in my portraits. Let's see here. Down to here, I am gonna desaturate. No, actually, let's go in. Maybe mess with the hue of the green. Yeah, I like that. I like messing with that kind of hue in the background there. Orange? Nah, I'm not going to mess with all these. Maybe with this. I'm trying to make this more of like a tealish blue. Not overboard, because then it gets in the pants and the shirt. So, right there's good. Alright, and then, do I want to go to my, oh, what am I doing here? Saturation. Yeah, I'm going to boost that, or just tank it down a little bit, as well as the blue. Maybe the oranges, no. See, oranges, when you're doing portraits, never take the yellow down, or the oranges down, because that's like skin tones and stuff. Definitely I like to desaturate a lot. And then these purples and magentas, I take out completely almost, because they're honestly just, I don't know. I just don't like it. It's hard to explain why you get it. You get those colors in like really odd places. You probably know what I mean if you've been editing a lot and this kind of stuff. Okay, so here, no, we don't do that first. I don't know why, but I've noticed if you do split toning before you do this, it looks super weird and odd. It just looks cringeworthy. I don't know why, but yeah. Okay, do the 3 points. Boost that up. It's like what everyone does these days, but it works super well. Boost that down just a little bit till I like it, and then bump that up to around, maybe let's go with like 5. I don't do the tone curves. I don't do the crushed blacks as much. And boost that down a little bit just to get kind of this to be contrasted and noticeable. I like that a little too much though, and I'm actually going to bring up the shadows a little bit more. It's a little too movie that way. My portraits are more like uplifting and happy because I want more detail in the person. Highlights now. Okay, for the split toning. I'm gonna go with blue. Ooh, like that color. Yeah, gives it that vintage look. Not much though, just like maybe around 7, which I usually do. Then for this, I do like a reddish, like there, and I do it very little, just in the background. And yeah, that's really nice actually. I kind of want to add I do this, not many people do, but I add like fake sunsets, and like see how there's light coming over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag I don't know what this is. It's just like this circle thing. I guess that would be like a circular gradient. I make it to like half the image, or like where it cuts it off halfway, and then I bring the temperature up, make sure it's invert mask, and then I boost that a little bit. I don't do it a ton. Let me go in the front of the face, and then I think I made it too big. Definitely, that's good. I like that. Just a little bit, with a little bit of temperature rise. And I don't see going overboard makes it look fake, because like you don't get that much sun, heat, warmth, and like it's kind of, yeah, it's hard to explain. It just doesn't look realistic enough for me. If that makes sense. So that's a good, just adds that little bit of story behind it, sunset look. Then I'm gonna do as I did before my portraits or landscapes. I meant. I'll just bring that back down to 0. Why won't it go to 0? Okay. Then I just bump that down to like maybe there. And then I make it really long. And make this line hit the bottom of the other line. Hit the bottom of the image. And that's kind of how I go about it. I think that's a little overboard. Oh, no. Okay. Boost that up a little more. Yeah, that's good. And that's pretty much it. Like, it's a good photo. I'm gonna actually bump the contrast down a little bit, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a little different than this one. I kind of meant to do that because I don't edit the same way every time. I definitely have like a certain feel towards my pictures that I want to portray in each picture, but I want it to look cohesive. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's pretty much it. I might edit one more picture if we have time. Yeah, why the heck not? This one, I'm actually gonna do with not the greatest lighting. Like this one, it's not the best composition. But I'm gonna teach you guys. I'm gonna show you guys how you can make it look good, kind of. And yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go with the exposure first of all, because I don't like the exposure of this. Highlights, I'm going to definitely bump up in this image. Ooh, yeah, see, we're not getting all the stuff around there. I might go in with the brush tool this time and brush in the areas that I don't think. Yeah, there we go. Then we just boost that. Yeah, let's see. Here we go. That's how you get that look. Sometimes you have to use different tools up here to, you know, bring the white in the top, the skies, and overexpose them. There's different ways to do it. Can I bring this down? You want a little detail in the sky, like maybe like right there, here and there. But usually I like to just overexpose it and make it look like it was a cloudy, moody day, even when it wasn't exactly. Definitely gonna bump the shadows down, maybe not that much, but the blacks, yeah. If you do it too much, it just looks like crap. So just don't go overboard. So I said, don't go overboard on everything, even if you feel like you should. Don't, because it won't look good. Just won't look good. I mean, it sometimes will if you overexpose or you want to get creative. And that's definitely perfectly fine. But just you'll know. You'll definitely know. I might work with tint or the temperature. There we go. Okay. I'm actually going to boost the clarity in this by like 10. And then bring the vibrance down. Maybe a little bit of saturation. Desaturation works actually better for landscapes, so yeah, that's good. Back down to here as I did before. I'm actually going to take down all the blue in this image. Just leave it to like the yellow, and there's not much red actually. I'm just going to bring it down to reduce color noise, I guess you would say. What I usually do is if there's none of that color, I just completely desaturate it. Because because it makes the image look cleaner. Don't do it all the way. See how it's all like 90s area? Definitely don't get 100. Like definitely get some color, because then it won't look normal. Like it'll definitely look like you edited it, but it definitely won't look fake. You know what I mean? You just have to find that middle ground. Hue, I'm not gonna mess with that actually. Back up to here, the usual. I'm gonna really do this really quickly actually. Push that down, just give it that little noticeable transition. Push that up. Ooh, yeah, that's good. I don't like it that much though, like 9.4 in this image. Actually, a little less. 8.2. 8.2 always works for me for some reason. So yeah, a little bit. Not as much. I actually might bring the clarity down a little bit as well as bring up the shadows. And I kind of want the top of the building to be kind of like faded out, look like there was fog over the building, so just a tiny bit over the top there. Okay, yeah, that gives it more of like a mood. Now I'm going to do that little thing in the bottom here. Let's make my... Yeah, see, not much, just that. I'm going to do a little transition, bring that up a little bit. Dope. I think this could be up a little higher too. And then, I don't want the clarity that high. No, I'm actually going to make it, no, I'm going to keep it 0. I'm going to be safe and make that 0. Yeah. It's not fully in focus, but that's supposed to be more in focus, so I like it. Highlights, or the split toning. I always look at the highlights here. I'm going to go with blue up here. Maybe, I don't know with this image. Oh, I like that though. I like that. I'm just going to boost it up just so I can definitely see what I'm exactly bouncing out. I want to give it more of like a red tone, but just very little, because it helps this pop out more. Boost that to be lower, and I'm just getting a little less. Alright, I like this. This is good. This is good. I like this. It's an overall good photo. Let me just go down here really quick and do all that. And yeah, that's the overall completed photo. I could definitely go in here and do like 4x5, which is just an Instagram thing, and make it a little more better composition. Ooh, yeah, that really helped actually. Alright. Overall, I think that we were successful on our editing. I definitely take a lot of time in editing, as you can see, but don't have to take this much time. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching, and I hope I taught you guys some stuff. And yeah.